Talk Radio Europe presents Behind the Mic with Kenny Jones.
Yes, it's Behind the Mic with Kenny Jones. It's just after 9:15 on this Monday, the 17th of December. In God's 7th, I'm going backwards. I wish I could go backwards sometimes. We have on the line, waiting to speak to us, Richard Thomas. Now, Richard Thomas is a freelance writer. He specialises in, how can we put it, the unexplained, I suppose. Richard's written for high street magazines, including Alien Worlds, Paranormal and UFO Matrix. He's also written a regular column for the South Wales Evening Post. He had his book was an e-book, but it was so popular it's now come out in paperback, and I'm delighted to have him on the line. Good evening, Richard. Welcome to TRE.
Good evening.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. Now, where are you right now? Are you in Wales, Richard?
Yeah, in Swansea.
Oh, is that where you were brought up?
Yeah.
Oh, your whole childhood, your whole life, is that you've been in South Wales, yes?
Yeah, except for holidays to Benidorm.
Oh, you've done a bit of Benidorm, you know Costa Blanca then. Good man. South Wales is really an up-and-coming area these days, isn't it? I was listening to some people talking the other day on the radio about the fact that the football's doing well, the Swansea's doing well, Cardiff's doing well. They're great city centres. They've put a lot of time and money into South Wales, haven't they?
Yeah, it's coming along. Didn't do too well in football yesterday, though.
Yeah, we have to pick our times when we talk about the football. I'm a Chelsea supporter, so I'm not talking football this week. I go back to it next week. So tell me what got you interested in writing about such subjects like the paranormal, Richard?
That's a good question. I suppose I've been interested all my life. My father had a lot of books about UFOs, ghosts, lost civilizations like Atlantis. I used to watch programs like Arthur C. Clarke's Mysterious World.
Oh, yeah.
Things like that.
Yeah.
And I suppose it was just, up until about when I was 17, it was just sort of one of my interests. If I saw a book about UFOs, I'd buy it, but I wouldn't actually go and look for books about UFOs or ghosts and things like that.
But you knew pretty young then that this kind of stuff interested you, much younger than that.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's people usually interested in what their dads are interested in. I suppose my dad was interested into strange subjects. Yeah,
sure. You're absolutely right. Sometimes it is. It's just something that's around the house, maybe the books around the house, and you pick them up, or you hear your dad talking about them or whatever. Yeah, you're absolutely right. It does very often happen that way. Now, tell me a little bit about this book, though, Paranews, because I didn't realise to start with that it had been an e-book before, and it was only its success that got you or the publisher to decide to put it out as a paperback.
Yeah, well, I suppose how the book began. When I finished university in 2007, I had a rough idea of what I wanted to do. I wanted to be a writer. So I started writing on the internet, and because I needed something to write about, I wrote about what interested me, and that was UFOs and stuff like that. So I started blogging, and after I'd done that for a few years, Rupert Matthews, who works for Breadwater Books, sent me an email. I interviewed him before. He said, how about putting an e-book together of you can do your best blogs and articles and things like that. That's how the e-book came together, and apparently people liked it. So then we put it out as paperback.
So when did you put the e-book together?
About a year ago.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's quite quick to go from that.
A year ago.
Yeah, you seem quite young man yourself, Richard.
Yeah, I'm 26.
26, and you've already got your first book out. That's fantastic news. You must be really chuffed with yourself for that.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, you should be. It's a fascinating book. What I like about it is you don't just take one subject. You've got to quite a lot of different subjects. Tell me a little bit about how you approach it. As you know, and I've informed the listener as well, I haven't been able to actually see the book, so I'm going to have to rely on you to be a bit descriptive for me, Richard. But what form does it take? Do you write about a specific subject and come to a conclusion, or do you leave it open, or do you just sort of take the accepted theories about the subject you're talking about?
Well, every chapter is basically an article or a blog I'd written. How I would approach them usually is I'd have a question that I would try to answer. Like one of them's called the Bermuda Triangle. Is it a good place for an alien base?
Okay.
And I would try to answer that question.
I see. Okay, yeah. Actually, well, Bermuda Triangle is one of the things that I wrote down here. As one of the things that you've got on your list of things that are in the book. I mean, I looked it up on Wikipedia, and it just says it's something that doesn't actually exist. It goes on to say what people think about it, but the reality is it's accepted that it doesn't exist. Isn't there too much information that things have happened there for it not to exist at all?
Well, since records began in 1851, I think it's over 8,000 people have gone missing in the Bermuda Triangle. So obviously something's happening there.
Yeah, for sure.
Is it just natural phenomenon, or is it something paranormal? That's the only question.
Yes. And nothing's ever been proved, though, has it?
Never been proven.
No. I know it's been said that maybe there's something goes on there that affects the instruments on board ships, etc. I mean,
yeah, compasses, yeah.
Yes. How does that sort of theory fit with you?
Well, one of the things they say about UFOs are people that are alleged to have, worked on captured craft and things, and you can't prove they really did, you can't prove they didn't, but one of the things they say is they work on electromagnetic principles.
Uh-huh.
And it's interesting because electromagnetism is what affects compass readings in the Bermuda Triangle. And another area in the Pacific Ocean called the Devil's Triangle, which is sort of like the Japanese version of the Bermuda Triangle.
And have they had similar kind of losses there?
Yeah, similar losses, disappearing ships and
wow.
things like that.
Wow, that's amazing. I didn't know about that one. I shall have to look that one up. What's that called?
The Devil's Triangle. The
Devil's Triangle, okay. I need to find... I didn't know. I thought this was one specific area. Now we're talking about the equivalent somewhere else doing exactly the same thing. That's fascinating, I think.
Well, the Dragon's Triangle, I think, is another name for it.
Sure. So when you look at, in the Bermuda Triangle chapter of your book, you are looking at other possibilities of what may be going on there. Is that how the chapter works?
Yeah.
Okay, so what about UFOs? I know that's an area that you feature in the book too. What sort of... have you got any proof of existence to share with us?
Well, in the beginning, you asked me what got me interested, and I explained up until about the age of 17, it was just one of the things I was interested in.
Sure.
Well, when I was 17, I actually had what I think was a UFO sighting myself here in Swansea.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
And what do you think you saw, or what did you see?
Well, I've seen very similar pictures of what I saw in UFO books and things. It was basically like a white line in the sky, almost silver. It's what the people call cigar-shaped UFOs.
Yes.
I was with my dad and my brother in the car at the time, and it was here in Swansea by the beach. And it was going sort of diagonally up and down. So, I couldn't have been... First thought when I saw it is, that's just a plane, but planes don't go up and down, they just stay in one direction. And then it just vanished at the end.
And how long did you see this for?
It was while my dad was stopped at a light. Red light.
So it wasn't a flash of light, but it was probably, 30 seconds?
No, it was we watched, longer than that, a couple of minutes we were probably watching the thing.
Your father as well, you both saw it?
Yeah, and my brother.
Now, you don't know this. This is not something that's come up because the conversation hasn't come up. But I have to tell you, just under a year ago, we had a situation here. It was I think it was a late Sunday night, where people saw, and a lot of people saw. First of all, we were hearing a lot of noise in the area, and then people were reporting having seen certain things. Now, what's really fascinating about what you're telling me here is that